Guys, and welcome back to another Big L Devlin video, and this is another one of my bouncer videos, and it's all focused today on how to deal with women in pubs and nightclubs as a doorman. Okay, because women can give you a unique set of issues to deal with that men necessarily can't, or you have to deal with the same issues but in a different way. Now obviously if they're being polite and well-mannered, they're being good, they've been good customers, generally speaking it's not your job to deal with them. But you know, obviously if they're polite and well-mannered to you, you're polite and well-mannered back. Okay, so regardless of if they're man or woman. If they're being violent, regardless of their man or woman, you should really, in theory, deal with them the same way. But you deal with them after assessing the threat level. Now, if you've got a 5 foot, 6 stone woman causing a little bit of trouble, chances are she's going to be mostly lippy, and she might get a little physically violent, but she's got no real serious way of harming you. Okay, and as a result, the threat level there is minimal. Verbal commands, hopefully, would work. If you have to physically grab them, well, that's all you do. You grab and you drag and you get them out. They can't physically stop you evicting them out of the property. However, if they're a man and they weigh, like, the mountain in Game of Thrones, they're 30 stone, 7 foot, and all the rest of it, even if not being that violent, they're still quite a high threat. And the way that you deal with them, if you can't verbally command them, is going to be probably a much more excessive level of aggression than how you deal with a woman down here. However, if it flips, you're dealing with, a massive woman. It's generally size that kind of determines threat most of the time. If you're dealing with a massive woman, obviously she becomes a bigger threat than the bloke. So as I say, man or woman, doesn't matter. If they're being violent, you deal with them according to the threat that they are offering you at the time. Okay, and you act appropriately. Okay. However, the people in the middle, okay, who are drunk or high on drugs, and they are acting inappropriately, but not in a violent manner and not in a perfectly sober manner. They're kind of in between. Okay, these guys can give you some unique sort of challenges, and as I say, the way that you handle them is something I'm going to discuss, at least a few of the situations I'm going to discuss in this video. And as I say, I'm going to focus on the unique problems these people in the middle, the women in the middle, can cause you. Okay, now the first thing to understand is, of course, generally speaking, it's human nature. I mean, everyone's done it, including, I've never done it myself, but I've been in groups of mates who we've done it. We'll try from time to time to smuggle either drink or drugs into a nightclub or a pub, because of course buying alcohol outside of the pub is far cheaper than buying alcohol inside of the pub. But you want to be in the venue, you want to be with your friends, you want a bit of music, so you think, oh, if I smuggle some cheap alcohol in, we can have cheap drinks, but we can have the best of both worlds basically. We can have cheap drinks, but we can have a bit of music, we can meet a girl maybe, we can have a nice time together as mates, and it doesn't have to cost us an arm and a leg. Now, obviously, we're cute to that, and so as doormen, it's part of our role is not just to evict people out when they're being violent, but it's to stop people bringing stuff into the venue that they shouldn't have, and the mass majority of that is alcohol. Obviously drugs as well, but people are going to be bringing drugs into the venue. Most of the time they'll take it either outside the venue or it'll be really well hidden. So unless you want to do a pat down, you're not going to find it. Okay, so we kind of discounted trying to look for drugs because we knew how to find the drugs once it was in the venue. We could spot people who were going to take it, and we caught them in the act. Okay, or if they were acting inappropriately whilst on the drugs, then obviously their behaviour itself became a reason to get rid of them. So we could handle the drugs side of things. However, the alcohol is something we couldn't tolerate. And you ask why? I mean, drugs are far worse than alcohol in many respects. Okay, so why? I mean, first of all, they're illegal and alcohol isn't. Okay, so why did we go so heavy and harsh on the alcohol side of things? Why did we focus on that? Well, that's because that's what's paying our wages. We used to work for a pub, and if the pub wasn't selling drinks, we're not getting paid. Right, the place will go bankrupt, and so we had to make sure that no one was bringing alcohol into the venue. Now, for a bloke to do that, to bring alcohol into a venue, that's quite difficult because obviously you've got to store it, and most people are going to want to bring at least a reasonable amount of alcohol with them, at least enough to get drunk. So you're going to need a bottle. Okay, now we're going to spot whether a man's got a bottle on them, because if they're dressed like a normal man, they've got jeans on, maybe a pair of trousers, maybe a jacket, but the jacket won't be that heavy. We'll be able to spot whether they're carrying a bottle. And as a result, most men don't try to smuggle alcohol into pubs with them because there's no place to hide it. However, women carry handbags, and handbags can hide a whole multitude of different sins, okay? And so our policy as a result was to search every handbag of every woman who came into our venue. Now, it wasn't just because women can hide stuff better than men. We've got to understand also that our team was 100% male. There was not a single female doorman on our team. And so, as a result, when it came, the reality is, when people bring stuff into your venue, be it alcohol or drugs, whatever it is, which they're not supposed to have, okay, they're not going to do it or take it or use it, whatever, in front of you, because they'd be dumb to do it. Obviously, they're giving you reason to get rid of them, and they're going to be in trouble. And so they're going to do it out of sight. And there's only one place that's out of sight. There's only one place where legally you're not allowed to put CCTV, and one place where you're not going to be in there often because it's not that pleasant normally, especially the male bathrooms, and that is the bathroom. Okay, bathrooms, you're not going to want to be in them all night, okay? And so most people, when they bring in either drink or drugs, will go to the bathroom to take them. Now, we were aware of that, and so we would keep our eyes on the men who were going into the bathrooms, and if we suspected that they were going to the bathroom to take drugs or to drink any alcohol that they may have smuggled on them, how they smuggled it on them, I don't know, but it was always drugs anyway. But if they to go take drugs, we would go in there and we would evict them, because we'd catch them in the act. We'd also check the bathrooms every 10 to 15 minutes. A doorman would go in every 10 to 15 minutes to check the toilets, because we, as I said, we knew that was a hot spot for taking smuggled products. Okay. However, because we were an all-male team, it's a lot harder for us to do the same with the female bathroom. We need good reason to go into female bathrooms. We're not allowed in there as men, okay? Unless, of course, we hear like there's a fight going on or something like that. Unless it's obvious trouble, or a real good reason for us to go in there, we couldn't do regular searches of the bathrooms. And so, as a result, as I say, we searched the women's handbags. Not only because women are more capable of hiding alcohol, but obviously because we had no way of enforcing or finding them having it when they were in the venue itself. So it became of real paramount importance, and that's why we focused so heavily on it. And you'll be surprised. I mean, some people would think, well, maybe 10-20% of people or groups of women who would come in would have alcohol on them, but almost 100% of the groups of women who came had at least alcohol on one member of their group. Because generally what they would do is they would hand all their alcohol to one person who would put it in their handbag in the hope that if they do get searched, only one person or two people at the group would get searched and not the person with the alcohol. We would search everyone. And when we find the alcohol, we give them a choice. You can either go, you're not coming in with it, you can either keep the alcohol and go down the road or drink it outside before coming in, or you give us the alcohol and you lose it forever, because we're not going to give it you back. Okay, that was our attitude. Maybe it's right or wrong to be like that, there's another matter, but we were protecting, as I say, our employers' income, essentially. We were making people buy his alcohol, okay? And we gave them a simple choice. You want to be in, that's fine, you can come in, but you're not coming in with the alcohol. And when you leave the alcohol, we're not it's not like a nursery for alcohol. We're not going to look after your alcohol. We're not going to be focused on trying to make sure no one touches that bottle. We can't guarantee if someone spikes it. We can't guarantee if someone has pissed in it or walked off with it. You know, we're not going to look after it. It's going straight in the bin. Okay? Or more often I would go to my head doorman who liked, if it was vodka, it would go to my head doorman. Anything else would go in the bin. Right? But nonetheless, that was the choices that we gave. So that's the first thing that women can give you that men can't necessarily, is that they have more storage space on them. And if you're a male doorman, it's a lot harder for you to find them in the act, stealing stealing toilet roll or taking drugs or anything like that. The bathroom is a problem, so you had to make sure that that you prevented them doing stuff before they came in. Okay. Now, there are other things that women can, of course, cause, more trouble that women can cause, and the first of which is really, I mean, it's the obvious, really, and that is flirting, okay? Women will often flirt with you. Most of the time it's harmless, but sometimes it's a weird one. Initially, you might like it, okay? Even if you don't fancy the girl, you know, being a doorman, your first few weeks on the door, you're going to enjoy the female attention, because you do get more attention as a doorman than you do as a non-doorman. When I would go into a pub, you know, not as a doorman, just as a customer, I'd get far less attention than when I was standing at the front door being the doorman. I'd get a lot more attention. It's just the nature of the job. Now, obviously, the flirtation, the jokes, you know, all the rest of it, at first it can be a bit fun, you know, and enjoyable, and you might be tempted to, you know, flirt back and all the rest of it, but eventually, guys, it will become really tedious. It will bore the shit out of you, because, and the reason is this, not because flirting is boring, none, and not because it's happening a lot, no, because it doesn't happen like every second of your night there. It's just because you've got to understand, you're working, so you're going to be stone cold sober. Chances are you've driven there, so you can't even have even just one drink or whatever. You've got to be stone cold sober. They're drunk, okay, and that's probably why they're flirting with you. They've probably had a few drinks to come talk to you for the start off with, but they're drunk. They're either mildly drunk, or they are more likely or not completely drunk and can barely stand. And if you've ever been in a situation when you're sober and you've got someone who's seriously drunk talking to you, it doesn't matter if they're flirting with you, it doesn't matter whether they say, no, I love you, and all the rest of it. It doesn't matter if they're being friendly or whether they're just telling you, or if they are a boring person, they're boring regardless. Okay? Drunk people and sober people don't like drunk people, but drunk people love them back. But you know, it's just one of those. You're not going to enjoy yourself. They talk a load of fucking shit. They talk a load of nonsense, okay? And it will bore the shit out of you eventually. And you're trying to understand them, and here's the problem that this causes, because of course this is all about the problems that women deal with, can cause. The problem is, of course, is that it's distracting. If you get involved in a conversation, there's no problem talking to your customers, but if you get involved in a conversation and your attention is with them, either because you fancy them, which is going to happen, human nature, every now and then, you will get a girl who's flirting with you, who's to you hot as hell, you know, oh yeah, I might as well talk back, you know. But more often than not, if they're just distracting you because you're trying to, like, what do you say, mate? So I don't understand what you're saying, what? You know, you're going to throw up, do you need any help there, you know, and all the rest of it. It's going to be like that. And if they're distracting you, they're stopping you doing your job. Your job, primarily, is to watch people and then deal with them when they're causing trouble. They're not causing trouble as such, they're not causing any problems, but they're stopping you react, and they're stopping you spot problems, okay? Because they're simply distracting you. And you might be, people might be nicking glasses, they could be doing drugs right in front of you, and if your focus is on the woman who's flirting with you here, they're going to get away with it. Okay, so what I would say, guys, is keep the flirtation down to a minimum. You're going to want to do that eventually anyway. If you're new on the doors, it's still going to be new and exciting, have a bit of fun. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's, at the same time, remember, you are being paid. It is a job, and you do your job, you know. But as long as you get your job done, there's no problem having a bit of fun back. But here's the warning. Bear in mind, if you go back home with one of these girls, or even worse, you know, you got no class at all, you shag them in your car or in the toilets or something like this, right? And then, this I think is disgusting, but if you do, you do. Then I warn you now. There's always a potential problem. There's always a potential risk, because that girl is so heavily intoxicated that they've forgotten what they've done the morning after, or they forgot that they were flirting with you and they liked you, and that they could say, yeah, you took advantage of me. And the thing is, and this is, I'm not having a debate about whether this is right or wrong, guys, or whatever, but the thing is, and my personal opinion is of this anyway, but it is that someone who is drunk is not capable of making 100% complete informed decisions. They still can make decisions, but it's more childlike, the way that they make the decisions. It's more impulsive. Okay, and it's not necessarily always what's best for them. That's for certain. If you're sober, you're completely 100% in control. And so if you end up shagging the person, and the morning after they think, oh, I didn't want to do that, well, I was drunk and I was stupid, but I didn't want to do that, you were the responsible one, they were the irresponsible one, but as a result, that's kind of rape. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you are sober, you know what's going on. They don't. You should have said, listen, love, you're too drunk. Come on, no, I can't do that. You're too drunk. Come back tomorrow when you're sobered up. If you still fancy me then, we'll have words, alright? That'll be a better way to deal with it. Chances are you're not going to see him again. But, you know, if they're a regular, a local, and, you know, they come back on the next Friday night or a couple of weeks' time, and they're sober and they're still flirting with you, then at least you know, well, you know, fair enough, they are attracted to me. And you're more likely to then actually get, you know, not in trouble, basically. Because obviously they do want to be with you, and it's not just an impulsive decision and a mistake on their part. But generally speaking, if you're sober and of compos mentis and they're drunk and their head's all over the place, by doing something you are in theory taking advantage of them. So just be careful, guys. Word of warning. Never done it myself, but obviously I have had friends who have actually been not accused, not reported to the police or anything, but had rumours spread by the girls amongst their friendship groups and stuff, and amongst the locals, that they, you know, obviously kind of forced them to do it and all the rest of it. And it can destroy your reputation, can lose you your job, and it can also obviously legally get you in very much a lot of trouble. So just be careful, guys. Act sensibly. It ain't worth it. You know, a couple of minutes of pleasure, 5 minutes of pleasure, whatever, for what? Who gives a shit? You know? Yeah, who gives a shit? Be wary. The other thing, of course, that drunk girls can do is, it's a form of flirting, in my opinion, but it's one that's very annoying and can be very time consuming for you as a doorman, is that they'll come up to you and they'll go, oh, someone in there, a man, it will be always a man obviously, is eyeing me up, and he's talked to me, we've kept saying no, but he's not taking no for an answer, and all the rest of it. Now obviously, it's in your nature as a bloke especially, to take that accusation that they're giving to you very seriously, and you go, who is it then? And at the beginning, when I first started doing doors, I used to fall for it every time. I go, oh, who is it then? Go in, kick the bloke out. But eventually, it was soon that the guy, a couple of members of staff said, why did you kick them out? I said about the girl telling me that he was causing trouble and all the rest of it. And they go, no, he wasn't. He's fine. He is. He's golden. In fact, he never went up to the girl at all. You know, the whole night he was actually talking to us at the bar. Yeah, what? Okay. Anyway, sooner or later you clock on. Well, sometimes, I don't know why they do it, and obviously, guys, what I would say is still always half listen to what the girl's saying and take it into consideration, because there are creeps out there, but you'll know who the creeps are most likely in the bar, because they'll be coming every week and they'll be eyeing all the girls up every fucking week. There's nothing you can do because they're doing nothing wrong, but they do make people feel creepy, you know, creeped out, and you can deal with them. Mate, it's the end of the night for you tonight. Come back next week again, yeah? See you next week. But yeah, end of the night, you're making some of the girls feel uncomfortable, okay? You can just be short straight to them, and they'll actually go, okay, mate, and go. But it's a lot of the time, though, the story that the girl gives you is completely fucking made up. There's no guy causing them any trouble. They're just doing it because I think they want to see if they can manipulate you as a sort of alpha male sort of role, an authority figure, whatever they would see you as, and it kind of turns them on that you're there protecting them against, and it might be a real threat, but you know, most of the time it's like an imaginary threat, and they do it for their own kicks, so to speak, or maybe it's their way of trying to chat you up, or going, oh, thank you for that, I'll tell you what, I owe you my number now, or something. It has happened. They give you their number for helping out. Well, hang on a minute. That makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, for me, it's one of those things that you got to kind of be aware of, is that there will be false accusations, and it's the women who always do it. They'll come in and they'll say, this guy, that guy, boom, 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 and they keep coming up to you, oh, he's doing it again, he's doing it again. Okay, well, we're keeping an eye on him. From what I can see, he's not causing too much trouble. Just keep to the other side of the room, and we've told him to keep away from you. And, you know, whatever, it's one of those, knowing damn well that the guy's not doing anything. Obviously, as I say, if the guy's doing something, you deal with it. But it's one of those that eventually you clock onto that for some reason girls do it, and I don't know why. Now, one particular story that was quite funny actually. There was one time, and as I say, one of the problems as a male door supervisor is that it's very hard to go into the female bathrooms. I say you need good reason, and there was good reason for me to go into the bathroom. I forget why I had to go in. I think I was told to remove them. I think I actually was told by the owner, go, there's girls in the bathroom, we've been closed 10 minutes, go get them. Well, yeah, because they've been hiding away in there. Okay, alright, I'll go in. So you go in, and there's a girl in there, and I'll be straight with you, she was hot as fuck. Really, really hot. Really good looking girl. And anyway, she, oh, I've been expecting you kind of thing or whatever. I spilt my drink. Just give me a second whilst I dry my clothes off under the hairdryer. Okay, at first you not clock on. You think they just like literally spilt the drink. But alright, you've got 2 minutes, but then you got to go. Okay. Anyway, so they start drying the dress under the hairdryer. Yeah, one of those ones that blow downwards. And all of a sudden they take off from underneath the dress their knickers. And then they start taking off the dress, and they're like, oh right, okay, I get you. Oh shit. Okay, I get you. Right, now obviously some blokes would be like, okay, fantastic, and especially as I say, the girl was fit and she was obviously trying to seduce me and all the rest of it. She obviously, you know, she did like me, but I don't know, in those situations, as I say, I thought, oh fuck, so I went out and I went to my boss. I said, mate, the girl's undressing for me out in there. Can I have a chaperone, please? I don't want her to accuse me of grabbing her or something whilst I kick her out. He goes, all right, okay. So he came in and he goes, love, you got to put your clothes on. And she still kind of carried on trying to strip, really, in some ways. Didn't even know there was another bloke in there. So, come on, cover yourself up, whatever. Put your dress back on. You know, try not to look. Well, you get changed if you need it. Come on, let's get you out. But you do get those kind of situations where my God, you're presented with this beautiful woman, and if you weren't working as a doorman, you'd be like, wow, cool, lucky day. But because it's just like, it almost is embarrassing. I don't know why it was so embarrassing. It was like, oh my God, really? I thought this is what you're going to do. Why are you doing it? Why did you have to do it after my doorman told me to come in here? And why can I just walked in here by mistake and at least have 15 minutes to myself before the people realise I was in here? No, only joking, guys. But you know what I mean? It's those kind of situations that women can do as well. This video, guys, has been a bit disjointed. I'm trying to remember a few stories. It's a little hard, but I mean, I've put a few other stories up on a video that I've done on the same topic before. These are slightly different situations, as I say. There might be some overlap. But it's my general advice on how to handle the problems that they can give you, and my advice sort of on the best manner in which to deal with it, at least. There will be alternatives. But I hope it helps you. And I'm trying to film as many videos on this topic, because I know they're popular and I know you guys enjoy them, but if I'm going on too much, guys, I'm kind of stretching the topics a little bit too thin, then I'll stop. Don't worry, guys, you just tell me the truth. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.